Okay, you are about to witness the power of gun channels. So this is our weekly show, Monday Lock and Load, and got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I always forget to turn off the
volume
playback. Yeah, the playback on the
YouTube well, even channel. If you have it muted, it'll still pop back up a lot of times whenever it goes to start playing. I don't know why, because mine was muted all the way and it just started to play. So.
Yeah. Okay. I turned it off.
Probably my fault.
How can that be your fault?
I've got them both up.
Right. So everybody fucked up. Well, we always fuck up. I almost always forget to turn off the damn YouTube's monitoring side. But anyway, so
it's the miracle of YouTube.
Well, it's something from YouTube. So Hawaii is scared because it's unprepared and it's passed it's proposed a bill to deal with it. And because it hasn't done anything since like 1970 or whatever on keeping track of its emergency shelters, and apparently they've misplaced all of their bandages or something. They don't. They're trying to find locate their fallout shelters and print up some signs so people know where they are, and so we've got a link to that in the video description. We've also got something of the actual bill, which I'll talk about. And
I think they buried all their goodies and lost the map.
The Menehune stole them. Menehune are like Hawaiian leprechauns that steal things when nobody's looking. Anyway, also we've got UK gun petition. So if you're in, because I wanted to just mention that at least somebody posted that on the UK gun rights video I did 6 months ago, when they were rewriting all the UK gun laws, and I had written a letter to the UK law commissioners. I don't know if they even are allowed to consider. It was a great letter. I don't know if they're allowed to consider it because they can check from the IP address that I don't live in the UK. But if you live in the UK, we have a link to the UK gun petition, and you can actually sign it if you're a UK citizen. It's like petitionparliament.uk/petition, and it's basically to restore gun rights to the people. And so in America, it's like the people don't have to ask the government for permission to exercise their rights. It's the government that has to ask the people for permission to do things. So, but at least it's supposed to be that way. Some states have turned it on.
You corrected that.
Well, you don't live in California, so but anyway, yeah, in Hawaii sometimes they got that all backwards. But it helps to remind people from time to time, and sometimes it doesn't help at all. But and we got a name that gun question and a riddle coming up in a bit. And so we got the UK gun petition link is at the bottom in the video description under the chat. Yeah, and we're also on Gun Channel's Second Amendment media platform. And so we're going to, I guess, just cover some basic prepping stuff and the North Korea thing, which is related to the bill. And the mother, I got a photo for the Moab, the mother of all bombs. And basically, the Russians have the father of all bombs, which is even a bigger one. But
the Tsar Bomba?
No. It's another conventional bomb. It just has it's a different kind of explosives, and it has it's the equivalent of 19 tons instead of the Moab is 15 tons or something like that. It's basically 4 more tons of explosives than the American one, but I guess maybe we actually used it and they haven't yet. Yeah, the Tsar Bomba is the biggest nuclear one, but we're just talking conventional weapons. But if you saw the video, that's the bomb, and it's fucking huge. So I guess it had quite an impact on the people they dropped it on, and anybody in the vicinity. Also, I don't know if we're going to talk about that. Some crazy guy posted a murder live on Facebook. I mean, I don't use Facebook, but I mean, shit.
I heard some of that, but I didn't really hear the whole story. I've just heard that there was some guy that posted it, but I didn't read the story or anything. I've had my granddaughter, so that's crazy.
Yeah, well, I heard there's a $50,000 reward for him. So if anybody has any information, just turn the fucker in and collect your $50,000.
Yeah, no
Heck
kidding.
yeah! We had a local guy named Michael Vance who went on the run after killing families near our area and threatening other people and shooting at other people with, I can't remember if it was an AK or an AR now. It's been a while. But anyway, he was missing out in the country here somewhere for, well, probably a couple of weeks, and they finally caught him camping out. So they got him, and it ended up being a shootout, and he lost.
Well, this wasn't even a shootout. It's just some guy goes up to a 74-year-old man who he doesn't even know and kills him and puts it on Facebook. I mean,
that's just crazy. Yeah, I hope they get him, and I hope it ends in the shootout where the cops end up fine and he ends up dead.
Yeah, well, somebody that crazy
find him. He might just take himself out at some point. I mean, where's he going to go? How far is he going to run? Sooner or later, he might realize that.
Sometimes they catch. I think last time somebody did something like that, the police just ran across him sleeping outside a bar, and then they did get into a gunfight with him, but the perpetrator survived somehow, and it's just dumb luck where random luck is how the police find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I'm finding it kind of interesting to have a president that basically just says how it's going. You know what I mean? Like Trump just saying the relationship with Russia is not so great right now. I mean, he just comes out and says it instead of trying to sweet talk everybody and try to convince you otherwise. I find that kind of refreshing. I wasn't a Trump backer at first. I had somebody else that I wanted to be in there on the conservative side rather than Trump, but I'm pleased so far.
Well, yeah, I'll just be glad if World War III doesn't start, anytime soon,
No kidding.
They better update that stuff in Hawaii soon then.
They better they better try and find out where the hell they put their fallout shelters. I know we don't have one on the Big Island, and they could, maybe I better buy a D9 and have it shipped over here and wait for them to, because, hire me to dig, basically it's so hard to dig in volcanic rock, it's basically, there's a company called Hawaii, excavation that's all they do. They dig for highways, they dig for, highway expansions or, and basically, anybody with a D9, can make a fortune when the government decides they have to do something in a hurry, so.
Yeah, I imagine.
So, but I mean, D9 is not just a little impulse buy, at least it's not for me. I know some people who it would be for an impulse buy, but I don't know how to use one. And I'm sure I could, get some training, but,
yeah.
Hopefully I won't run anybody over with the D9. maybe I can talk a friend of mine into buying one and shipping it over here. But, trying to build a bomb shelter for that of any size that can hold any amount of people, into hard lava rock is just not even explosives work. You need pneumatic drills and D9s and pneumatic drills basically. And there's parts of Hawaii where there is actually soil, but it's all lying on top of, lava rock, and especially on the Big Island, there's tons of lava rock. and the soil only goes so deep. I mean, a lot of places it's great farming because you got all kinds of great soil from the volcanic soil that's great for growing things like coffee.
I was about to
On
say
the
the
gun
coffee.
On the gun channel, Jesse James 10mm wants to know, what's the water table like there?
Well, it depends where. There's some spots where it's you could dig drill down into the rock and basically towards on the east tip of the island where I used to live, the water it flows. The rain comes in. The clouds come in from the ocean. They go onto the land every morning. It dumps like an inch in like 15 minutes, and then the clouds just get blown up the mountain. And then at a certain point on the mountain, like about 2/3 of the way up the mountain, the wind just can't push them anymore, and they just dump all their rain onto the mountain. And then over time, all that water flows down. It goes down into the rock, and it starts flowing downhill, and then it goes back down to where right to where the right to the shore where the water came from, the ocean. And so, but it's all filtered through the rock over miles. So where I used to live, people would illegally dig holes in their backyard. They just get a backhoe and dig straight down until they hit water, and so they could have a miniature tide pool in their backyard, And it looked really cool, and it was okay for a while. But I mean, after 10 or 20 or 30 years, basically the problem was all those homes, they didn't require septic tanks, so they all had cesspools. And so you have a cesspool hole right next to your tide pool hole.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, so then when I first got there, I go, I'll just jump in, and then I figured out it wasn't such a good idea,
Not so much.
But it's basically really cool about them is that on the edge, like right along the beach, there's some natural ones where it's just natural, and there's some places where there aren't so many homes, but there are natural volcanically heated tide pools because the lava sinks down through the rock all the way, or the water sinks down to the rock all the way, several hundred feet under the ground where there's active lava flows, and then the water hits the lava, turns into steam, comes right back up through the cracks in the rocks, and it heats the water of these. And like there's areas like there's this one called Ahupuna Park, and it's like there's this the tide pool where the ocean ocean water comes into this little pond or pool, and it's like a swimming pool. People can just go swimming. It's a natural pool, but it's heated because the water from the pool goes down through the rocks to the lava and comes back up. So it's like, but there's natural pools like that aren't just the man-made ones, by the homes with all the, cesspools dug into them. But depending where you are, you can get some really, really clean water. If you have a semi-protected, source not near any, septic. Septic is okay. They're actually starting to require septic now, but they didn't before because it's just financially, like I said, it's hard to dig, so it costs like $30,000 to build a septic system. It costs a ton of money just to build a cesspool, but they were requiring if they tried to pass a law requiring septic instead of cesspools, but everybody protested because people couldn't sell their homes unless they had a septic system, and people just couldn't afford it. And the properties aren't worth that much. Out in certain parts of Hawaii, I did a video of that, like into the Welcome to the Jungle video, and that property, I mean, the tax value of that 2.5 acres is worth $13,000. So and he won't sell it for that. He paid too much. He paid like $85,000 for those acres, like at the height of the real estate bubble. And I sympathize with him, but the problem is that if you actually want to build something on there, just building a cesspool will cost like 3 times the tax value, and because it's so hard to dig there, you have to have a license to actually build one that can get a permit, and it's just anything you do on Hawaii can, wind up, if you're not careful, costing you a fortune. So, I mean,
Well, yeah, because I can see 2 points. First of all, it's just difficult because of the rock. Secondly, you have a very liberal government, don't you? So
we have a bunch of loony left-wing liberal tunes, and my left-wing Uber state senator looks like he's going to become the fucking lieutenant governor of the state. And God, I hate that guy. Got into a little kerfuffle.
I'd like to get rid of Mary Fallon here in Oklahoma myself.
Yeah.
And she's not considered liberal, but man, she's definitely not as conservative as I'd like her to be, or not in a religious sense, but just in she's not very good at just promoting freedom. You know what I mean? She's too.
I know the type.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answered Jesse James' question. There are areas where you can get really clean water, but of course the best way to get clean water is just most people just do a catchment right off their roofs, because like I said, it rains a lot. So if you just have where I used to live, a lot of people there is a private water system. In some places there's a county water system, but like that particular property I was looking at, there's no water piped up there, by the county. So it's all it rains enough to catch, it could rain 4 inches per hour, so you're going to get enough water. It's going to flow off your roof. And the only problem we have with catchments in Hawaii and gardening in general is you can get plenty of water. You can run it through filters. You could buy yourself a distiller, but the only problem we really have with catchments is that there's been several cases, including a couple, I think, from California that just came out here after they got married and caught rat lungworm disease, which basically how that happens is some rodents with this disease, a particular virus or whatever it is, they basically, their feces is on the ground and the snails eat it. And then the snails crawl up your tank and they crawl into your tank. And the virus is waterborne. So once it gets floating in your tank, it can live there forever. And it is if you look up rat lungworm, it's a very painful way to die. So if you live in Hawaii and you go to farmers markets, which I do, a lot of people, you have to really wash off your food completely or else. Yeah.
Well, does water filtration take care of that? Or do you have to
if it's good enough, sure. Yeah, if it's good enough, sure. Most people have, that UV filtration systems and stuff, installed, that stuff that they sell. But I don't know if I'd be comfortable with just that. A lot of people what they do is they use their catchment for just gray water,
Right.
Showers, and then they go and just buy filtered water from protected wells at the store, for drinking, which is a pain in the ass and it's expensive to do it that way. When I first moved here, that's what I did. I wouldn't drink the groundwater, even though it's supposed to be safe. Even though it was piped in by the county and it's chlorinated, I just would go to the store and buy, reverse osmosis. Now I have a reverse osmosis machine in my condo, but I have county water, that's protected and it's chlorinated. So, but it also goes through my reverse osmosis machine, which takes out a lot of chemicals, but it's safe and it tastes a lot better coming out of there. But I used to just go to the store and buy all my water from the store. And that's what a lot of people do. Yeah.
We have Jesse James, 10mm Auto, and Rupan over on the gun channels watching. We have Zero Pence and Grizz270 over there on YouTube, and there's some more out there that haven't said hey that they're in the chat. Grizz says, I hear brown trout fishing is excellent over there in the lava tubes.
Brown trout? I never heard of it. There may be some fish that, and I'm not a really, basically, and there are some, people that do, tilapia and stuff. Hey, Zero Pence. Hey there, buddy. He's like a knife maker from the UK. I've got
Yeah,
that.
awesome.
Yeah, he does. He takes cutouts and makes them into works on does handle work and finish work and makes them into finished blades. So check him out. And Zero Pence, I need some help getting out that UK gun petition to people in the UK. I bet you could be helpful with that, getting people to sign it. It's a UK petition on the UK Parliament. I can't do anything because I'm obviously they screen to make sure the IP addresses from anybody who wants to sign it are from actually from the UK. So otherwise, you could do a lot. You can get it signed. We can get enough signatures on it really quick, but we're gonna have to just try and use social media to check out the power of gun channels and see if we can promote it. Get the word out on that.
Jesse James says, I wouldn't want to build a fallout shelter below what the water table is, as it makes as a natural drain for water to go. I agree.
A turd floating through water, right? As far as it really depends where you are. Yeah, obviously you have to pick your location for a fallout shelter or any shelter carefully. If you're sheltering from a nuclear attack, the farthest points on the island is South Point, and where I used to live on the east tip of the Big Island. South Point is the farthest points in the United States of America, the most southern point in the actual states. And it's as far away from Oahu as possible while still being in Hawaii, except for the one underwater island that hasn't, it's still several 1,000 feet underwater, hasn't broken the surface yet. It's just an underwater volcano at the moment. But yeah, you have to pick it carefully. It could have to be someplace where people could get to, and it has to be a place where the ground, water. It has to be a place where there was actually county water hooked up. You had a place where you could hook it up, because if you have to take care of a lot of evacuees, you couldn't just do it on, stored catchment water. You would need county water, assuming it wasn't irradiated from a nuclear attack. There's only one military base here called Puhakaloa. And it's only really used for target practice. Sometimes they train strikers, but basically, that every once or twice a month there'll be a military convoy that comes up from one of the local small harbors and with some vehicles, and they'll just bring some Army guys or some Marines and practice with mortars or artillery, and then they go back to their bases in Kaneohe or on Oahu or Guam or wherever they are. I mean, I think I got into a debate over, somebody didn't realize that yes, we actually do a lot of the Pacific Fleet is all the strategic bombers. There's an air base on Guam, and we had Operation Valiant Shield, and a lot of stuff is coordinated out of Guam. And so, I mean, that would be like target number one, because all the bombers, whether they're located on the mainland or not, they all stop over. And I've got a video of Operation Valiant Shield 2016, and you can see all the bombers flying. They have B-52s, B-1s, B-2s flying out of Anderton Air Base at Guam, also known as the Alamo of the Pacific. The Japanese tried to invade that, and they had some Marines stationed there, I think, during World War II at the start. I know there was a couple movies about it. It's called the Alamo of the Pacific. So, given that name, I figure they got overrun eventually.
Sounds like possibly.
So I'm not an expert, but now we got an air base there, and Anderson Air Base. Basically, yeah, there was just when the Japanese first came, and they basically tried to bomb and invade, and then the Marines on there kicked their asses off the island, and they had like just a few airplanes that the Marines did, and they took out some Japanese ships, and it really embarrassed the Japanese Navy. So they so they sailed off and then came back, a few months later with more ships and more soldiers. So, but it was like, just uneven odds. But anyway, so let's get on to do you have anybody else want to talk about any of this stuff, or should we talk about or anything else? 'Cause I just tend to babble if you guys don't talk.
I'm good.
Yeah, I was muted because I didn't think you really wanted to hear the sound of cleaning guns in the background.
I like that sound, actually.
Yeah, well, I've been cleaning all my blades and guns too this last week or two. It's like spring cleaning time, I think, for all your stuff that's been lying around. I've been using Flitz and super premium polishing paste and Metal Glow to clean up my machete, and so I'm going to try and post the results. I took some video of it, and I got some roosters from the Safeway when I was shopping.
Now, is this like the chicken at the gas pump?
Well, but these are roosters, not a hen.
Okay. Did you see that one, Oily?
No, I did not.
HBS is pumping gas, and just along comes a chicken.
He told me about it, but I hadn't seen it yet.
Okay, yeah. Well, that was I drove up and it was sitting there by in the way. I couldn't get to the gas pump. It was in the way. So, but eventually, when I walked toward it, it moved off. It didn't. It figured out I was bigger than it, so it didn't want to get in my way. But yeah, the roosters outside of Safeway basically live in some of the planters where there's bushes that they can hide in, and they come out sometimes and crow. So I got some video of that because I was at Safeway yesterday, and I'll say that I already told the off-air story about Safeway and the checkout line. But all right, so I'm trying to get all this stuff right. I wrote all these things down, but I can't read my own writing.
Maybe you should type notes on the computer.
Then I have to make
like on a notepad.
Well, I got the. In order for me to do that, I got my Targus, chill pad where the laptop sits on this pad with two fans in it, but it's really like a unpowered USB port, and it, go ahead.
Did you say TARDIS?
Targus.
Oh, I thought you said TARDIS. I'm like, time and relative dimension and space? You're a Time Lord? Oh, okay.
Is that from some movie that I'm not aware of?
For all of your British viewers, that's Doctor Who reference.
Yes. I knew that sounded familiar. I used to watch Doctor Who whenever I was
You said
younger.
Targus, Targus, the brand. I was thinking you said TARDIS for time travel.
Grizz 270 wants to know what's the best gun to take down a house cat without wasting the meat. Well, what I did.
Wait. Who's eating cats?
Well, I had this problem in Hawaii because there's a lot of feral cats. I was living in Honau, right across from the Painted Church. And there was some feral cats. And one of them, back then I owned a Mustang GT with a soft convertible with a soft top. And this cat decided he liked to sleep on my soft top convertible. And every day there was cat hair all the fuck over the place, and it wouldn't come off. It's a pain in the ass to get it to come off. Cat hair just sticks to the my soft top convertible. So I got really tired of the cat sleeping on my car every day. So Dr. Howe. So basically what I did is I took some empty beer bottles, or I think it was actually Mike's Hard Lemonade, and some fishing line, and I took 5 bottles. And I set one on each corner of the Mustang top and one in the middle. And then I connected them all with fishing line. So there was a square of fishing line around all, in a square around it, and also connected to each bottle through the one in the middle to keep it balanced, so they wouldn't just tip over. So basically, then at night, obviously the cat couldn't see the fishing line. So when it jumped up on the at like 2 in the morning, when it jumped up on the top of my convertible, soft-top convertible Mustang, like I knew it would, you know, it got caught up in the fishing line and all tangled, and all of a sudden at 2 in the morning, I hear, and then all the bottles crashing to the ground, and and then I just say, I wake up out of bed, and say, I got you, fucking ass, dumb cat, and you know, I think all the neighbors realized that I got that feral cat, and I never saw him again.
Scared the daylights out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, because I tried everything. I put, you know, cover on it, and the cat didn't care, you know, and I got tired of putting a cover on it every day. But the fishing line with beer bottles works. Since then, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't hurt the cat. It just scared the shit out of it.
Squibload had put on YouTube, PETA will be visiting HVS soon. That's why he's saying that.
They'll flag my video for mean cruelty to cats, animal cruelty video. I was just protecting my Mustang from the fucking cat, you know.
Hey, I'm not a cat lover, okay? I'm not. If he wants to take out feral cats, I would say a suppressed 22, only so that you don't draw any attention. If you don't have a suppressor, use subsonic. It's still going to make noise, though. I mean, it'll even make noise with a
crossbow.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I guess no. If you want to do that, then just go with air rifle.
I would go crossbow, but you know, I know what's his Fox Company Prepping likes crossbow, so.
Grizz says, I'm looking for a pair of calico kittens to make slippers out of for my daughter. Must have big ears and long whiskers. Prefer bobtails.
Well, Fox Company Prepping has a bunch of rabbits. Maybe you could use his rabbits instead. But
oh my.
Yeah, cats are, you know, today by the pool, out by the condo pool, there was this mongoose with blood all over its face, and I was trying to figure out whether it stole like a carcass that the cats killed, or that feral cats live out behind the condo, or it got into a fight with the cats. So
a mongoose, an invasive species.
Yeah, they are. Well, so are the feral cats, though. So
yeah.
You know.
Well, Grizz says that he loves cats, fried, baked.
All right. I already get enough problems with PETA for, you know.
Yeah.
I think the statute of limitations has expired on that, though, because it's been a while since I lived down in Honau now. It's been like over 12 years.
You just know it's bad times if you get a result, or it comes down to eating cats. I mean, that's all you've got.
Venezuela, they're doing that stuff, you know. They're eating cats and dogs and zoo animals and anything else.
And it's heart-wrenching to see all the animals that in like different war zones that are just walking around and they're just skeletons. They're so hungry. It's hard to see.
Yeah, the domesticated zoo animals that the people stop feeding because there's no money to pay for their food, or there's no way to get food to them, even if there was money for it. And so it's just sometimes there's rescue missions where they try and just rescue those, like from, you know, I think the Palestinians had a lion, you know, some lions in their zoo with a, you know, somebody went and tried to rescue them because it was just hopeless, you know. Anyway, I don't want to bring up all that. Instead of talking about the Middle East and Syria and the mother of all bombs, or if we're going to talk about the North Korea thing,
we can talk about the Moab.
Have you ever got to see one of those up close? I have a screenshot I could put up, you know, but
the Moab itself went into service after I got out, but its precursor was the Daisy Cutter from Vietnam, and they had a 15 and 20,000 pound version. You kick them out of the back of a C-130. It's too big for a regular bomber to carry, so your loadmaster on your cargo plane becomes your bombardier. So whoever thinks that working on a cargo plane is a boring job, well, every now and then you get to do something fun. And what they would do with them in Vietnam is drop them into the jungle onto a hilltop, and it would take out all the trees and flatten the hilltop and make a landing zone for the helicopters. Well, they found out that during the operation whatever was in Afghanistan when we
Anaconda.
not sure if it was one specific operation or was the whole. I wanted to say Operation Iraqi Freedom, but that wasn't. Anyhow, when we went to Afghanistan in this century, they still had plenty of daisy cutters left, and they really hadn't used them very often. There wasn't a lot of need for them, so they started using them over there, and they were effective there too. But I think what they were using them there for was to take out caves, or to hit an area that maybe has IEDs in it, and they just want to just make sure they get them all. They weren't using it to take down trees for helicopter landing zones anymore. And I think that the Moab came out of that, and it's more of a guided munition than, you know, a bunch of high explosive with a parachute.
We have to about to say guided musician.
Yeah, this isn't a guided munition. And I mean, it's got fins on it, whatnot, and they just they move and send it to where it's got to go. I don't know exactly how the guidance system works on it. That's a big Air Force thing.
GPS.
But if it works anything like the laser guided bombs, I mean, pretty much the fins will just it'll kind of wobble back and forth, and that'll it's got enough altitude that it can cover a lot of distance, both vertically, obviously, and horizontally by wobbling back and forth, and it'll end up on its target that way. The fins just move and let the airstream go around it, just move it around. So there's a video out there that says actual video of the Moab that they just dropped, and it is not. It is not. There's a big fireball. Moab doesn't make a big fireball. It makes a big concussion. So if you ever see any explosions where there's this big giant fireball, like what they have in the TV shows and stuff like that, that's gasoline or something else.
So all that is fake news. Okay.
Well, I mean, they did drop a Moab, but they were making a big deal out of it. I think because they had nothing else to report. They were using it. They
needed some, ostentatious video, so they just.
But most people, when they see the explosions on the TV shows and movies, they see the big fireball. Well, the big fireball is very easy to make, and it's very dramatic. But if you see a big fireball, that's usually a secondary explosion or something else like that. So you drop a bomb and you get a big concussion. You are going to get somewhat of a blast. You are going to get a little bit of fire, but it's mostly concussion. And that may trigger like a fuel truck to go up, or other munitions on the ground to go up. Or
there'll be a big dust cloud.
Well, there'll be a big dust cloud, but it could also cause secondary explosions, and that could, that could do more damage sometimes than the bomb itself. So,
right,
but yeah, I was watching
to rupture, things like that.
Yeah, basically, what I heard on like the news channels with some interviews with some Marines that had gone. So one guy had lost his legs, I think a Green Beret, going into the tunnels, because nobody wanted to drop that bomb, and so they sent in soldiers, because they didn't, want to risk collateral damage, or they didn't want to, basically the problem was, the Obama administration was, micromanaging every little, military, target decision, worse than even in Vietnam, apparently. So, soldiers lost his legs because, again, going into one of those tunnels that they were trying to take out, because they're all packed with IEDs and shit. So,
well, if you can drop a piece of ordnance this big, whatever it costs, and you're able to take out IEDs or take out the bad guys or bury them alive in their tunnels or clear a path or whatnot, and you're going to save American lives, and just like the whole cruise missile thing, I think it's better than risking our guys' life. At some point, you have to have boots on the ground. At some point, you can't say, all right, we're going to do all this automated, but sometimes people say, "Oh, it's excessive." It's just, hey, if you were over there, you wouldn't be saying it's excessive.
Okay, so Jesse James posted a link and said, "So this is not actual footage over on the gun channel."
Let me take a look. Let me go upstairs.
Okay, I'll leave that to. I'm trying to find the actual picture that I have somewhere in my download folder, which is like the biggest folder from hell that you could imagine. I have a picture of a Moab bomb. If I can actually get it.
No, that is the footage. There's another video that is being shot from the ground. A guy's hiding behind a building.
Yes, that's the video I saw, not this one.
That's not a Moab.
I mean, there is a big plume cloud, but it's hard to tell.
No, this video he linked. That's the FLIR, the forward-looking infrared on the is either a spotter aircraft or they might have had it on the C-130 that dropped the Moab, and yeah, that's footage of it falling and detonating.
Oh, I think
But
I found
the
it.
video that looks like a guy hiding behind a building and you see a big fireball off in the distance, that is not a Moab.
I don't know if this is going to be. I don't know if this is going to show up as anything, but I screen shared it. Can you guys see this at all, or is it just not shit? Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Moab Air Force Armament, this big green bomb.
Yeah.
Green, that makes it environmentally friendly. Either that or very expensive, one or the other.
Oh, I think it's the latter.
It's got 4 fins, GPS on there. And, so, all right. But yeah, it looks cool. There's one other screen share I wanted to do because you were all into battleships during the week, or you were into naval vessels. So I don't know. Can you guys see this one? This is the Iowa. If you can see it.
Hold on, I gotta go back over to. I'm not seeing anything yet.
Boy.
Hey, Grizz, Hawaii, if you'll give me a wrench on the external on YouTube, I can share that web address for that video that was posted over on the gun channels.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to do that. How do I do
All you
that?
gotta do is scroll over my name to the right, 3 little dots will come up,
Yeah.
and you click on those 3 little dots.
Add
And
moderator.
scroll down on that, and it'll say make a moderator or something, and then we can share. Yep, there you go. You got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, basically all I have is like some, I don't know, but about the rest of the world, I don't know what the U.S. military has. They have Moabs and nuclear weapons. All I have like 2 4-pound, containers of binary, exploding shockwave targets. So that's the extent of my. I mean, yeah, and it is a blast. It's not a fireball. So.
Hi, just Dano.
Hey, Dano's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Daily Gun Show. They were talking about some movies, and his Tokarov, and now I remember Guns of Navarone and Force 10 from Navarone pretty quickly. Those are some of the gun movies they were talking about, or war movies, but. Trust is a fragile thing. Yeah, whatever. A Yugo M57. I don't have any experience. I'm not going to talk about something I don't know nothing about, although that hasn't necessarily stopped me in the past.
Would say just gun oil anyway.
Squid might know better than me. You're into milsurps.
Yeah, I'm a milsurp guy. I was downstairs cleaning a Yugoslavian Mauser before I ran up here. I've got a Yugo M57. I just picked it up. That was a gun show that I was gonna meet Dusty at. I was there for Reload Supplies but they didn't have any, so I bought the M57. And mine's giving me issues right out of the box. It doesn't mean Dano's will. He's probably ended up with a better one than me. And they're not bad guns. I'm gonna have to do some work to it. That's all.
Well, I can't wait to see some video. Hopefully, it shows up in my YouTube subscriber stream. I try and watch everybody's videos in the subscriber stream, because I subscribe to a lot of people. But it's like it gets overwhelming trying to watch every video, Especially, there's some people that I know that put out 3 videos a week minimum, and it's just like, man, can I watch it? And some of them are long, so it's like, and then basically every day there's 100 videos. I can't watch 100 a day.
Oh, I know, it's tough.
But you want to be nice to people and support their channels too. So I guess you have to find a balance that works in your life.
I just go to somebody's channel and I binge watch for a while, and then I go on to somebody else's channel and do the same.
Yeah, when I was in the hospital recovering in the Rehab Hospital Pacific, I was binge watching prepper videos on my cell phone. Because I was just bored. Well, yeah, either that or ask for warm blankets. Complain about the cold.
And you got to do something to take your mind off the freaking uncomfortable bed that you get stuck in.
Well, I have to do something to take my mind off the first 9 days without a bowel movement, because they pumped so much damn opium into me during that operation that it took 9 days just for the muscles to work to, pass one, piece of fecal matter, I mean, everything just, when they pump that much opium into you, everything just grinds to a halt.
Yep, opioids paralyze the
your muscles. Digestion is a muscular process.
Yeah. Yep, your intestinal tract is what I was trying to say.
And I was eating every day too. They gave me, hospital food, every day to eat, and I would eat it.
That's crazy. They should not have done that. They should have put you on a liquid diet and done what they had to do, enema or whatever, to get that out.
Well, I was sitting there with the doctor, and basically I was pleading for just get me a fucking, psyllium husk pill, and I got my parents to go to Walmart and just pick some up at 2 a.m. for me. You got to buy me some, just leave your hotel, because they flew out, and to see me, and then just go to Walmart. So my mom takes a taxi at 3 a.m. to Walmart or Walgreens, and they're and she's on her cell phone to me, calling me to ask me, what does this psyllium husk tablet look like? And then they didn't have it, or something. Anyway, we finally got it, and they delivered it in the morning to the hospital, who refused to dispense any medication that wasn't, directly from the hospital. And I was like, what the fuck? And finally the doctor said it was okay, and they still, the nursing staff still wouldn't, release it. And then the doctor, got tough with them. So they had to get the proper medical form to, they said if I died from taking the psyllium husk tablet, that they weren't liable for it or something.
Snuck it. Next time, don't tell them what you're gonna do.
Well, it's hard to sneak in medications into a hospital where there's, it's like an army of, medical people, especially because we didn't think there would be a problem. Who is going to protest, a psyllium husk tablet? And I was saying it's not medication, it's food. And they're saying, no, it's medication.
I tell you, I've worked in plenty of nursing homes and assisted living centers and hospitals, and they won't even let them put a topical on somebody, like a barrier cream. Say they have the backdoor trots. A barrier cream helps keep them from being so raw and being so painful, or maybe they have bed sores or something, without a prescription. It is unbelievably ridiculous.
Being in a hospital sucks. Anyway, let's move on to, I don't know what else was on this. I was on my list.
Something besides lack of bowel movement.
Okay. Oh, the well, it's not a tactical pop quiz, but it's a riddle and a gun of the day question. It's a tough one. All right, so
You should have Dano come on as a guest to do the not tactical pop quiz.
it's a riddle and a gun and a name that gun is what it is. So you got to get both right, or you got to try to get both right. You don't have to get anything right. Okay, so let's see. I am the start of the end at the end of time. The essential to beats. I surround every rhyme. And the gun we're looking for. It's more like name that cannon. Made of wrought iron and bronze. It has been used in military battle. Required 2 elephants to aim it. So it's a big cannon. And to move it, basically it required 2 elephants to swivel it, and towards wherever they wanted to aim it at, because it's so big and heavy. And to move it actually required 1,000 oxen. Name that gun. I'll be surprised if anybody gets the name of the gun. The cannon, name of the cannon. It's wrought iron and bronze cannon. I don't see anything on YouTube.
I'm working my Google Magic.
Okay.
Okay, is it early 15th century?
I'm not giving out any more hints.
Come on. Oh, well, I'm going to abstain from guessing, but if nobody gets it, then I'll guess this one.
Okay, let me see if I can make my way back to gun channels on my browser. Okay. Somehow I wound up back on the. I don't see anything on gun channels.
Okay. Well, nobody's got to guess. Yeah, you can give them more hints.
Okay, subcontinent of India.
Subcontinent in the video?
Subcontinent of India. Subcontinental India. It means it's near the bottom of India.
There was a subcontinent.
Yeah. It means it's like the bottom part of the continent. And there was a gold mine near there. There was a diamond mine. It used to be the only diamond mine in the world where this cannon was stationed.
They didn't use this at the Temple of Doom, did they?
The Temple of Doom? No, this is a real cannon, not a movie one.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they had a cannon in that video anyway. In that movie, I mean.
Did Obama produce a lot, or provide a lot of these, or appoint a lot of these? Is that kind of?
No, Obama was not. Obama's grandfather was not even born when they.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Obama appointed a lot of czars, and I was wondering if this is a czar cannon.
No.
There's a czar cannon?
Yeah, TSAR cannon. It's an 890 millimeter caliber.
No.
Now this fired cannonballs. It was wrought iron covered with bronze.
Okay, Rupan says Rajagopala Barangi.
Give us the English names. I don't know the Indian. I'm not asking for the Indian names. It's from India.
That's Raj from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Raj.
A Birang?
Does it say what year was it made?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I mean, I kind of vaguely recall the century.
Malika Maiden? No?
I don't know the Indian names. I know there's
Great Turkish Bombard?
No, no.
Ah,
It was like 15th or 16th, 14th, 15th or 16th century, something like that.
Dardanelles gun? No.
No, it was near all the diamond mines were around where this cannon was located. There was a city that mined all the diamonds.
Hmm.
My goodness gracious. All right.
The empire that built this cannon was the same empire that built the Taj Mahal.
Ottoman Empire?
No, the Ottoman Empire did not build the Taj Mahal.
Let's see. I'm looking. What kind of ammo does it have? Does stone ball?
Cannonballs. It was like a 500-pound cannonball or something crazy.
Was it iron balls and shot?
Yeah.
Mallets mortar?
No.
Mortier Monstre? No.
Think of the my problem with the Mustang. Kind of has the name of a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Calico?
No, it's not a calico. Nobody would name a cannon a calico.
Sounds fierce, you know.
Nobody's getting the rhyme either. I'll say the rhyme one more time in case anybody wants to go for that one. Well, instead of looking through Google. I am the start of the end and the end of time. I'm essential to beats and I surround every rhyme. I know that in the pre-chat, Oily Prepper got it already, so.
Y'all.
But I already sent you patches, so.
Yes, that's right. Lots of awesome patches. I'm going to do a video on it.
Cool, yeah. So the G Gun Channels patch, and I think the 762 patch, and my favorite, that Red AK Wolverines patch from Red Dawn. Like I said, you have to get your husband to buy you an AK to go with the patch.
I told you, you're going to have to talk him into it for me.
Well,
you got to put in a good word.
Why would he listen to me?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well,
speak of this cannon again. Tell me the details on it.
See what I wrote down.
I'm going to make you work for your money today.
Work.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Made of wrought iron and bronze. It was used in battle. Required 2 elephants to spin it, to swing it, to aim it, because it was so heavy. And it required 1,000 oxen to move it. And for quite some time, it was the largest artillery piece in the world. And it's it has to do, the name has something to do with cats. And so I said it was in India, near a position, near a stationed near a diamond mine. A town that was the only diamond mine for, until like centuries later. All the diamonds in the world came from this town.
Okay, I'm still looking.
Yeah. Take your time. Not going anywhere. Let's see. So while you guys figure that out, I'm gonna let's see. Where is the? Okay, first I wanted to share this petition. I want to see if I can screen share the petition for the UK. Just briefly screen share that. Although the link is actually in the. Go ahead.
Did you see the side chat?
Which in gun channels?
No, on the Hangout.
On the Hangout. No, God, I got so many pages. Let me look at it. That's very close to one of them, but that's like a sister gun of the same kind. That's the right leader. That's the right warlord of the Mughal Empire.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but it's a different gun. It's a different one. It has the cat's name.
This is hard to find. I really need Sean Connery's Google Foo right now.
I particularly, I saw this on the Military History Channel yesterday. This gun, so they were covering the Mughal Empire. So that's your last hint. That should. You're getting all the guns, but the right ones.
I got that. So that one's wrong too.
Unless that's Indian and not English. I don't want the Indian name. I don't even remember how to pronounce it in Indian. There's an English,
okay,
translation for this thing
Jahan Kosha cannon is what Rupan's guessing now.
A what cannon?
Jahan Kosha cannon.
Right. Give me English, dude. It's in English and it's named like a cat. Yeah, I don't need the Indian. What?
Abby?
It's not like I don't need the Indian transliteration. I don't remember the Indian transliteration.
When I typed in the Indian word, I get a bunch of doctors' addresses. So.
All right. So I want to screen share this page. Give legal, law-abiding UK citizens the right to bear arms. And there's they need 10,000 signatures for the government to respond, and 100,000 signatures to get to debate in Parliament. I'd like to see that on C-SPAN. Of the crazy politicians telling the people that the normal people can't have guns, only the criminals are allowed to have guns, or something stupid. This is a great petition. I think everybody from the UK should sign it, and the link to do that is in the video description of this video. So check it out. All right, now moving on to the crazy Hawaii part. The nuclear, the North Korea Hawaii bill about finding our lost fallout shelters. Let's see, make it back to.
They're just talking about upgrading them.
No, finding them. They don't know where they are. I mean, at least that's from the article. They literally just don't know where they are.
Nobody has a map.
We lost the fallout shelter.
Building. How do you lose a fallout shelter?
They're the government. They can lose anything.
Doggone it, I found one link that talks about it, but it doesn't give the name. It says One gargantuan mortar used at the siege of the Ranthambore was reported to launch a payload of over 3,000 pounds. It required 1,000 oxen and several elephants for transport, but it doesn't give the stinking name.
Yeah, it has the name of a cat. Okay, now I need to get to the jeez. Not the
There.
zero hedge. I'm trying to, you got me jumping around looking at everything. That's it. You're giving me Indian transliterations in the internal side chat there, Squib.
There's no American word for it. Oh, is it from 1663?
I don't remember the exact year. It's around like 14th, 15th, or 16th century, something like that. Yeah, you're getting all the names of the guns that are just as big, almost, but not the exact one. You know, Battle King is one of them. Yeah, but it's not the actual one I'm talking about. That was on the show last night. This artillery piece was so big they needed 2 elephants to swivel it just to aim it. 2 elephants to aim it.
Is it an elephant gun? But
No. I mean, all the elephant would have to do is move out of the way, you know. It takes 2 elephants to aim it, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, if you're defending a fort, you would pre-sight it at where you think the enemy is going to come from, pretty much, and then, you know, load it up and wait.
You only give them one avenue of approach, and then you make it a killing box.
Was it Siamese? I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go back to looking for. Oh, here it is. Let's
Talking about Muggles and Admiral Akbar. I don't know what it's.
All right. Well, while you guys are stumped for eternity on finding the actual name, the cat name of this artillery piece, I'm going to see if I could screen share.
Some obscure extinct cat nobody's ever heard of.
No, it's not an obscure cat that nobody's ever heard of. You know, and it was the largest artillery piece for quite some time on the planet. Okay. So this is the concurrent resolution in the 2017 State of Hawaii 29th Legislature. SCR number, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 169, requesting the state to modernize its disaster preparedness plans. Basically, they haven't done anything since the early 1970s in the state of Hawaii. So they wrote this bill. Hawaii faces increased risk from, and this bill is also in the video description link. Underneath the video in the video description. Whereas Hawaii faces increased risk from natural and man-made disasters because of environmental climate changes and geopolitical conflicts, and whereas Hawaii's prime location in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and its abundance of military commands, including the United States Pacific Command, which is responsible for military operations in an area covering more than half the Earth's surface, makes the state a strategic target. And whereas nuclear arms expert recently said that North Korea already has or may soon have the ability to target Hawaii with nuclear-tipped intercontinental ballistic missiles with possibly the same destructive force as the 15-kiloton and 20-kiloton bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively, according to the Honolulu Star Advertiser article. That is a god-awful source for actual facts. All right, now that I've insulted our news media. Whereas The legislature finds that airborne electromagnetic pulses radiating from a nuclear disaster may have a radius of approximately 1,500 miles and could adversely affect the operation of electronic devices statewide, rendering many of these devices unusable. And whereas President Donald Trump has warned that the U.S. may take unilateral action against North Korea unless China does more to help the United States rein in North Korea's nuclear program, and whereas the current state of geopolitical tensions affecting the United States, it is in the best interest of Hawaii to prepare for a nuclear disaster by updating its fallout shelter plans, including identifying usable fallout shelters and upgrading outdated fallout shelters. Basically, they've lost their shelters. They don't know where they are anymore. Whereas the legislature finds that in 1981, Oahu had hundreds of fallout shelters with many stocked with medical kits, food, and sanitary kits, but eventually funding stocks were discarded and existing fallout shelter markings became outdated and no longer applicable. And in other words, the government lost them and threw the shit away. Whereas, in addition, if a natural or man-made disaster were to strike Hawaii's cargo shipping harbors, the state would suffer great hardship since most of the state's food and other supplies arrive by ship. And whereas, are you guys bored with this already?
I read the link you sent me. It wasn't
Yeah.
easy to get through it, but it's only a page. So
Yeah, okay. I'm almost to the be it resolved part, but whereas on Oahu, an emergency backup container laydown, I'm reading this as fast as I can. An emergency backup container laydown area should be available in case Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard, Kalealoa Barbers Point Harbor, or any other major harbor capable of handling shipped cargo is severely damaged and unusable. And whereas proposed redevelopment of Aloha Stadium, where they want to have the Pro Bowl, in Halawa, provides good opportunity to build a reinforced stadium parking lot that may serve as the emergency backup container laydown area that is centrally located, accessible by tractor trailers, equipped with additional power generators, and capable of holding shipping containers, withstanding heavy machinery, and accommodating harbor employees. And only three more whereases. Whereas it's important for the state to identify an alternate long-term port that may be on a neighbor island to be used as an emergency backup point if a natural man-made disaster impacts major harbors, and whereas an effective and modernized disaster preparedness plan should have input from various stakeholders, including those from the government, emergency and civil service agencies, maritime and shipping industry, and other relevant personnel. Whereas preparing for natural man-made disasters is important to the state, taking early precautions can save lives and protect property now. Therefore, be it resolved. The legislature, concurring that the Department of Defense, with assistance from relevant stakeholders, is requested to modernize its disaster preparedness plans. Be it further resolved that the state is requested to update. Is this a law or a request? Requested to update its fallout shelter plans in case of a nuclear disaster by 1, identifying the locations of usable fallout shelters. That means they don't know where they are. They built them and they lost them. 2, upgrading outdated fallout shelters, because the ones that they have that they don't know where they are so old they're falling apart. I mean, look, Hawaii Island is, if you build a concrete, well, even Oahu, if you build a concrete shelter, I mean, we have earthquakes here, and because it's volcanic rock, the seismic energy moves at 55 miles an hour. As soon as it hits the concrete, that concrete cracks and eventually will be turned to rubble we live on several active volcanoes. By number 3, updating fallout signage and markings, restocking fallout shelter provisions, and conducting public awareness campaigns to ready the public for a nuclear disaster. Okay. I think I need to get my NBC suit soon. Or I need to like corner the market on them at least, and then sell them to the state of Hawaii. I can buy them all. I'll just go on a Sportsman Guide, buy all. Ask them how many NBC bio suits, hazmat suits they have, and then and try and negotiate a rate to buy all of them, so that the government can't just call up Sportsman Guide. They'll have to call me, and then I'll try and sell them in the paper when, after they pass this bill. Put a notice. Let's see. May serve as an emergency backup container. Better yet, I could just buy them from the military and then sell them back to the government at a profit. I mean, let's see. Aloha Stadium, alternate long-term port. Be able to further resolve Department of Defense with assistance from relevant stakeholders. Request to report its defined. It has no authority over the Department of Defense. This isn't a law. This is just like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I would think the governor could activate the Hawaii National Guard, but otherwise he would have to ask the president for assistance from the military, right?
Yeah, I mean, be resolved the Department of Defense do anything that the state of Hawaii requests? I mean, they have no authority over the state of Hawaii. I mean, I know they're trying to, cancel everything that Donald Trump wants to do, but trying to take over the Department of Defense, may meet with some resistance from the people that run it. Not that they won't want to help Hawaii prepare for a nuclear disaster. It's just that they don't want Hawaii telling them what to do. That's what Congress is for. Actually, Congress is what they're for is deny them the money that they need to do what they have to do through sequestration. Oh, and they're only giving them 20 days. Be it resolved, the Department of Defense is requested to report its findings and recommendations on modernizing the state's disaster preparedness plan, including any proposed legislation, to the legislature no later than 20 days prior to convening of next year. Oh, so this isn't going to happen until next year. So if we get nuked before 2018, then there won't be. Not only all they're requesting is more laws, and if this isn't even a law, as far as I can see.
I just think they're recognizing that their stuff is outdated and they need to update it, because you see that some of the language in there says that the same stuff they can use for nuclear disaster they can use for a natural disaster, and that's one of the things I've been saying about prepping is you're prepared for one thing, but you can use it for another.
I know, but it just listen to this, that way it ends. The last sentence, be it further resolved, this is the last part, that certified copies of this concurrent resolution be transmitted to the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. That's what he needs. This little piece of paper will help him somehow. Commander of the United States Pacific Command, Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, Acting National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Governor, Adjutant General, Hawaii Fusion Center Coordinator, Hawaii Emergency Management Agency Administrator, Executive Officer, Director of Transportation, the Mayor of each county, President of the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, and the Chairman of the Stadium Authority. Just when all these people, when you get this information, this law piece of paper on your fax machine, fold it up into a paper airplane and fly it back to Hawaii. This law doesn't say anything. Except we lost our bomb shelters and we can't find them. But the ones that we do have are empty and broken. It should come to a shock to nobody that you're all on your fucking own. You're on your own if the shit hits the fan. You will not be getting any help from the government because it doesn't know where it put the help that it had prepared previously. If we're lucky, they will pass this law and the fax machine will be lost file, put in a stack of paperwork and lost or ignored. I mean, I hope the Federal Emergency Management Agency isn't as fucked up as our state is. That's all I have to say. All right. Well, I think that's about all of that I can possibly stand without throwing up. Let's see if we can. Oh, you're really close, Oily. I saw you type something in the YouTube side there. Oh boy. Stop screen sharing. All right. Okay. Did anybody on the? I see you're really close, Oily. But Mysore is not an American English word. I'll just tell you that. So
is that you need it translated or?
Well, I just want it in English. You've got the right cat.
You're so insensitive to the plight of the Indian people.
Oily Prepper isn't Indian.
No, but she's trying to show her understanding.
Oh. All right. I'm trying to make it over back to Gun Challenge to see if anybody there got anything. Jesse James says he has a plate carrier and I still never got the plates for yet. Yeah, a plate carrier won't help you defend you at all from a nuclear weapon. It might help you survive in the aftermath, but yeah, a biosuit might be of more use. Jesse James. Garfield. No, it's not a Garfield cannon. No, it's not the Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett was not born in the 14th, 15th, or 16th century.
It's a big cannon.
Yes, it is. It was the biggest one in the world for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And you've got the right cat there, but it's not a World War II gun. It's in India. All right. Yeah. Do you want me to spoil it all, or tell you what it is? No, not a ballista. It's not the Paris gun. It's not Anzio Annie, and it's not anything from World War I, II, or III, or IV. All right. Well, so basically, yeah, as far as prepping goes, I think if I get anything, I got just looking at my stuff, more food. I've got plenty of ammo. You never have enough food. Maybe extra water storage containers, but a biohazard suit would definitely be on my list. And a D9. I could make so much money when they pass this bill. If they actually decide to spend any money to do anything, they will probably wait till the bomb is like on the way in the air to build a bomb shelter.
You could armor up the D9 and have your own tank. If you armored it thick enough, it would protect you to some extent from radioactivity, and you could put like an air circulation system in there.
Oh man!
Homemade vehicle NBC. I don't know where you'd go, but
an up armored D9. I'll have to ask my rich friend for that on my birthday. I don't.
Somebody did.
Can you please send me out an up armored D9?
Somebody did that once and destroyed a town with it.
Well, I know somebody did that and destroyed his own house, so the bank wouldn't get anything when they foreclosed on him. But then he was arrested for destruction of his own property or something, or destruction of somebody else's property because the bank technically owned it when he ran over his own house. Which brings us to the economic collapse. Oh man! So, Dano, if you're out there, have you bought any more silver or gold? I mean, it's been around 1850 or something lately. Silver has, and gold is near 1300. Where's my rhyme about gold? I worked something that into the rhymes that I busted out. Let's see. And nobody's gotten the rhyme that I started with. Everybody's concentrating on the gun, but
Is it the Sura Tiger cannon?
it's a tiger something, but it's tiger fill in the blank. It's blank blank tiger, okay? No, actually it's tiger's blank is what it is. It's tiger's blank.
The tiger's claw.
Nope. Different body part. I'm the start of the end and the end of time. I'm essential to beats and I surround every rhyme. It's not a calico, a Siamese, or a it's not a tiger's head. But you're getting warmer.
Well, I know it, so it'd be cheating if I say. So I'm gonna let them try.
What part of the tiger would you be most scared of that's not the claw? Since I already said it's not the claw.
Tiger's tooth, tiger's mouth.
Ah, okay, you got it.
Woo!
Tiger's
Now,
mouth.
which one was it?
Tiger's
Tiger's
mouth.
mouth. Okay. All right, now I got to look this thing up.
Yeah, I saw it on yesterday on the History Channel because that's what us old guys do is we hang around and watch the military history channel of the Mughal Empire. It was a show all about the Mughal Empire. Yeah, it required 2 elephants to swivel it to aim it at anything, and it required 1,000 oxen to move it anywhere. They had a
Wow.
picture of on the show. If you get it, can you screen share it for people? And it's like this huge. There's this guy standing by it, and who was the guy who was on the show talking about it. He was standing in front of the cannon. He was standing by the wheel for the cannon, and the wheel was like the middle of the wheel was like over his head. You know, he wasn't short or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wrought iron and bronze, and basically, yeah, tiger's mouth. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not finding a photo.
I did find a photo on Adobe PDF. Let's see if I can dig it up again. Pinterest. Let's see. Rupan posted something. Let me click on that. Let's see. Swords. Edged weapons, an axe, another axe, a Civil War cannon, now that's too small. The Tipu's cannon, isn't it? It's not the Civil War's cannon. Napoleonic cannon, no. Not a golf ball cannon. I'm looking through all of this. That's a big lot of shit on the Pinterest link, and I don't see any tiger's mouth on it anywhere. Terracotta dice.
It'll be interesting. Now I'm going to have to go on a search for this thing. I'm bound and determined to see what this sucker looks like.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm noticing that Zero Hedge is saying the U.S. deployed 2 more aircraft carriers to the towards the Korean Peninsula, but I don't consider Zero Hedge any very accurate. I consider it kind of like a Russian television extension on a website.
Yeah.
But I do monitor it. You know, I just take it all with a grain of salt. They did have a funny story about a terrorist yesterday. A terrorist who was executed, his body went missing yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, which was Easter. Who do you think the terrorist? What do you think his name was? Jesus Christ, executed by the Romans. His body went missing.
Oh.
All right, that was the story on Zero Hedge. I was like, oh, geez, that's funny. But anyway,
About right.
let's see. So it says it's deploying. U.S. deployed a couple more carriers, I guess. There's a website that says where the carriers are. You know, it's no secret. You know, I mean, it's exact. Their exact location is military secret, but about where they are, the ocean that they're in isn't. You know, so. Anyway, let's see if I can find it myself. Basically, there's a PDF with a few pictures of it. Let's see. Mergel Cannon.
Woo.
Mergel Empire, Wikipedia.
Let's see.
Rupan
shared a big picture over on the gun channel, and that is a huge cannon if that's the one.
What cannon are all I saw was a Pinterest with a ton of pictures. Mergel technology, Mergel weapons, artillery. Main article, Mergel artillery.
The picture that Rupan posted on the gun channel.
You posted a picture on gun channels, or he put a link in our.
He put a link. He put a link.
The Pinterest link.
And no, it's another one.
Okay, and then I got to make my way back to gun channels. Okay.
And I'm just gonna say, Donald Trump style, that cannon is huge. It's huge.
It's bigly.
It's bigly, very bigly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That
it doesn't
is
even
awesome.
fit underneath the awning.
Okay, I'm gonna type this over here, or you can copy and paste it. Might be quicker.
Type what? The link.
The link.
All right. I think I can screen share that picture.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, do that.
If I can get back to the Hangout page. All right. So if you've been hanging out all this time, here's the pop shot. All right. So is that showing up?
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a little bit of a delay, so it hasn't showed up on YouTube yet, but it will in just a sec.
All right. So there's the pop shot, the cannon, the tiger's mouth. And basically, it took 2 elephants just to swivel it to aim it.
There it is on YouTube now.
Yeah. So I figured Sean Connery couldn't even get this one, and I guess, but Oily Prepper finally got it. So Sean may have figured it out. He's pretty good at these things. I don't know. Basically, I just was watching that show on the Murgle Empire military history channel. 'Cause that's what old guys do, and there it was.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, it's a huge cannon, and it's wrought iron on the inside, and the outside casing is encased in bronze completely. So
That thing is massive. I
Yeah.
can see why it took so many animals to move it.
yeah, there are basically 4 cannons like that, and the one, this one, I guess, is the tiger's mouth. So, it could fire some massive cannonballs at people, or elephants, rampaging army, attack elephants, which were the tanks of their time. So, basically, the Mughal Empire, they built the Taj Mahal, and the Taj Mahal was like it was basically a brick building with a marble veneer. And what was really interesting about the Taj Mahal is that its foundation, because it was right up against a river, and a active river, and so basically it hasn't shifted in all these hundreds and hundreds of years since it was built because of how they built the foundation, and they countersunk wells to absorb any moisture that might come from the river, and it was basically built on a foundation of bricks that was like arches underneath the main foundation. Had arches dug down into the ground, and there were countersunk wells in between the river and the structure, so that when river started, the water from the river would just seep through the ground through seepage. It would come up into wells, and instead of just going under the actual building and causing it to move. So if the structure hasn't moved or shifted in all the hundreds of years since it was built. And the building itself is bricks with a mortar, with marble. What's the word I just used? Covering it. Brain fart. What's it called when you put veneer, marble veneer, right? So but the artistry on the marble was notable. What I really liked on some of their architecture was the ceilings had like gems and like gems in the ceilings and patterns where you could, so the light coming from the sun would be like gems, through gems and stuff, different colored gems. And it's like every piece of marble had, artwork on it, like one piece of marble had artwork from like 600 different artists on and there were like thousands of pieces of marble. So, basically they hired, when they built the Taj Mahal, the emperor of the Mughal, I forget which one it was, he cut off the hands of all the people that worked on it, so they couldn't ever build anything like it.
Wow.
Fucking people are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, I put the link. I guess apparently Rupan was right when he guessed Jaivana. I guess that is the Hindu name for
tiger.
the tiger's mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't remember the transliteration of the Indian language. I just remember tiger's mouth, and I remember the cannon because it's kind of hard to forget. But this is a big mother. It was the largest cannon on the planet for many, many years, hundreds of years. So we did the Straight Outta Gun Channels thing here, and so what prepping stuff have you guys been working on, if any, over the last week or two?
I learned how to make a tincture, and I'm making a tincture. I think that's very important because if you don't have access to medicine, you want to have other natural ways to help with your health. So I'm making my first tincture ever, and
Awesome.
I've also, of course, acquired some more medical stuff. Some of the, oh, what do you call it? That self-adherent wrap, like
So-
sports wrap kind of stuff, and
Medical tape.
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, and got me a couple more books.
On
Yeah.
herbs, herb.
No, just
Herbology.
on basic preparedness.
Oh, prepper books. Okay, which ones?
Well, I don't have it in here, and my brain is lost on it. But I'll go run and get it in a minute so I can tell you. And let's see what else.
Yeah. So if anybody is out there is interested, that's on Gun Channels. Gunchannels.com/prepper has Sophie Daly's playlist on how to make tinctures, emulsions, and all that stuff. She put together, it's not her videos, but it's her collection of other people's videos that show you how to make all that stuff.
And if somebody's interested in off-grid living, making tinctures, gardening, sewing, anything like that, Rain Country Homestead is a great resource. She's over on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen her on a few different chats. And you're starting to back up your own chat again. You used to do that like a long time ago. You used to always run your own chats, and you're starting to back up, right?
Yeah, I used to basically strictly do them on essential oils, other than if we just have a casual chat every once in a while. But we're going to start having a chat. The Oklahoma Prepper, he's fairly new on YouTube, but he's got a lot of great budget prepping. Like he made his own homemade pocket shot with one of those punch ball balloons and a zip tie and a dowel rod that he sharpened. Pretty cool.
He made a what? What was that? You said he made
One of those pocket shots,
pocket
like that you can
shots.
shoot an arrow with.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's
he
like
made
a
it-
slingshot with that you can shoot an arrow from. Yeah. Okay, I've seen those.
Yep. Yep, you can shoot heavy ball bearings or rocks or
Arrows. Yeah.
arrows, whatever you want.
Crossbow
So anyways,
bolts.
made it out of one of those punch balloons, that you blow up and you can punch it. It has the rubber handle thing and you just punch it. There's like 3 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. He went and bought a pack of those, 3 for $1, and he already had the zip ties and the dowel rods. So
Yeah, doing it on the cheap is important because I'm sure if I had unlimited funds, I could buy it off of the internet somewhere. But
well, and just being able to improvise with what you have, that's important too. So, and he's uploading about a video a day. So, some of it's on gardening, some of it's just experiments, trial and error. Will this work? Will this not? Just trying to put some videos out there. And I think he's got some good quality stuff that he's putting out there. And I think that's important. So anyways, he's going to be a regular on the chat. And then my friend Mouse Toes, she does canning, gardening, and she's stinking hilarious, let me tell you. And she's a Southern lady from South Carolina, and she's definitely got the radio voice. She should be in radio. She's hilarious. Anyway, she'll be a regular on there as well. And then we'll have people over in the side chat that is very knowledgeable on herbs and stuff. So that'll be Thursdays, 8 Central.
Thursdays
Over on YouTube.
at 8 Central.
Yep.
What time is that in Pacific? So that would be 7 Pacific or 6 Pacific?
I think 6 Pacific because there's Mountain and
Right.
then Pacific. So 6
Right.
Pacific.
So that would,
9 Eastern.
and that'd be 3 p.m. Hawaii time. All right. So
Oh, wow.
early afternoon, I think.
Oh, goodness.
Or maybe 4.
Wow.
Maybe 4. They sprung ahead, so it might be 4 p.m. Hawaii time. So, but I'm not an expert on essential oils. I mean, I saw a few things, on I think Sportsman Guide or something. I forget. No, it was. If I could go through my emails. I just got camping survival. Oh, shit, I forgot. somebody
Camping
was
survival, yeah, they
they
have.
just yeah, they have a pack of, like you had mentioned, lavender and a few other things in there.
Well, the thing is, you got to be real careful about where you get your oils. You don't want to just get any oils because, and I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I don't sign anybody up or sell oils to anybody. I'm just telling you, you want 100% therapeutic grade essential oils because otherwise they could have additives. They could have chemicals that will make them more aromatic. They could have fake scents, perfumes added into them, things like that. So you want to get therapeutic grade. I suggest Young Living or doTERRA, those two companies. Both of those, like, you sign up, but you can do it for like really cheap, like $40 for a lifetime membership, and then you can just order whatever you want forever. Their oils are a little bit more expensive, but it's because you're getting quality, you're getting medicinal grade. So most of them can be taken internal as well as used externally. So that's what I would recommend personally. Either of those two companies.
So it looks like if Zero Hedge is right and Donald Trump is sending 3 aircraft carrier battle groups to Korea, that if Korea did have a missile that worked and they tried to use it, they would get the ever-living shit blasted out of them. But they really don't need the aircraft carriers to blast the ever-living shit out of them. We've got subs with missiles. We've got bombers out of, everywhere. Osan Air Base in Korea, Guam, or Ellison Air Base on the mainland. We've got bombers for days. I got videos of bombers taken off from Guam on Valiant Shield 2016 video, and Osan Air Base. The B-1 bombers are from Osan, and everything's flying off of Guam. And so if you want to see how many bombers we got, I got video on my channel, Hawaii Military News. But anyway, the only other thing I wanted to say, as far as the silver and gold stuff, Dano, Airtights, actually, they have 5 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce acrylic capsules for not just coins but the bars. If you're into collecting just the bars, and you can protect them with that, because who knows if how long you have to hold on to that stuff before you can sell it for a substantial profit. Obviously there's a nuclear war that'll change, the economy will change, but let's hope springs eternal that we don't have to deal with that kind of shit.
No kidding.
I've got my gas mask, but I don't have a NBC hazmat suit yet. But they aren't that expensive. It's just a matter of getting online and ordering it,
Yeah, we still need to get some for here. I mean, I have N95 and N95 masks, but I would like to get, some actual gas masks for sure.
Yeah, I showed the U.S. military, gas mask that I got in a video, and off of Sportsman's Guide, and I went to Amazon to pick up the couple extra filters. I probably, even 3 filters I have probably won't be enough if there's a nuclear war. But it really depends, if they actually don't nuke the Big Island and if they just nuke Oahu or Guam or something. Because there's nothing here worth wasting a missile on. I mean, missiles aren't cheap, and neither are nuclear warheads.
Yeah.
It's just, there's really nothing here. I mean, just an empty target range, with like 2 guards standing in front of it.
Targeting you.
Yeah, they don't like my YouTube channel. They're gonna target me.
They're like, I wanted to shut that dude up. I'm sick of listening to him.
There may be a wanted poster in North Korea with HVS on it.
Yeah. They. I wouldn't be surprised, man. HVS is wild, delirious. So I still got to ask, why are they so serious that they want to nuke me? That's as close as I could come to a rap and rhyme.
Well, did you ever give them the answer on the?
No, nobody tried to guess. I mean, yeah, you got it, but I'll say it one last time before.
A couple of times.
You burned everybody out with that canon question.
Yep. Yeah, we lost like 5 viewers or 6 viewers on YouTube.
Well, people don't care about cannons, the biggest cannon in the world for centuries, and nobody cares. Fuck, what's wrong with you people? Guns! Guns!
I know. Like, it's not like we can haul cannons around and blast people out of the...
Man, I couldn't even carry that cannon around with my blazer. Yeah, let's see. I can't even read my own writing for all the rest of my rhymes.
It's the beginning of the end.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not the beginning of the end. It's I'm at the start of the end. At the end of time, I'm essential to beats, and I surround every rhyme. Okay, motherfuckers.
Come on, yes.
The internet people are not up to the challenge. Wake the fuck up. Don't make me come over there.
You want me to reach through the screen and pop them across the head?
It's not that hard of a riddle. I mean, it only took you like 5 minutes to guess it.
Well, I had to listen to it again. It took me like 2 or 3 times. My brain works a little slow, so.
I think you got it in pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I've got enough ammo. I've got like a suitcase full of silver and a Glock and every other, like 4 long guns and a dozen pistols and, bug out bag. As long as I don't sell it to the state of Hawaii, for a lot of money or something, I'm about as prepared as I can be for living in this place. I mean, I could always grab more canned food or something, but short of I don't have a D9. I'll try and work out. My birthday's coming up. I'll see if any of my rich friends wants to buy me a D9, or just buy a D9 on this island and park it until the government wants to build a bomb shelter tomorrow. It's like, oh, they just launched their missiles. Quick, hire Steve and his D9 to dig a hole somewhere for a shelter. I mean, man.
Well, the books that I got were The Prepper's Cookbook by Tess Pennington.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Has 300 recipes to turn your emergency food into nutritious, delicious, life-saving meals.
Oh, so, that would be awesome. Yeah, because, I mean,
yeah,
I think just boiling water and eating my Mountain House meals I'll eventually run out, and Campbell's soup gets boring after a while.
Yeah, no kidding. And then I also got another book by Tess Pennington, and it's called The Prepper's Blueprint, First Edition, the step-by-step guide to help you prepare for any disaster. And it's got chapters like for Layer 1, Immediate Needs. Chapter 1, it all starts with a plan. Chapter 2, 2 weeks of food and water. Chapter 3, tools list. 4, emergency medical supply. 5, emergency communication. Anyways, it goes on through. Oh, and I did order some dental preps and stuff like that this week as well, by the way. Anyways, and then there was short-term preparedness is Layer 2, and Layer 3 is long-term preparedness. So, pretty interesting, and it's big, so, like, I can read it a little better because my eyes go cross-eyed from having this headache all the time if I have to read small print for very long. So makes it nice. All kinds of awesome, great stuff in there. And then I got some burn gel. I forgot to mention that. I got some.
Yeah, Jesse James, he got it.
Woo!
Jesse James, you are the man.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Awesome.
In the MDR. Is that the red dot? Hartman's red dot. So yeah, Jesse James, you get like. I should send you one of the patches I've got from Gun Channels. I'm kidding. All right, so.
Yay!
So Jesse James, where I got that riddle was later. Yay, Google! Oh, Google helped you get it. I read it 3 or 4 times. You must have typed it in and got it from Straight Out of Gotham. It's a cover of Straight Out of Compton, except it's like Batman and the Joker and the Riddler and Two-Face. Oh, the Desert Tech microdynamic rifles. Okay, yeah, Desert Tech rifles. Are you buying them? How much did that set you back, Jesse? Yeah, I remember seeing Desert Tech like 2 SHOT Shows ago. But I think they had like, Lapuas and 50 calibers and modular rifles where you could switch out, where you could change the, caliber of shooting and stuff. riddlesbrainteaser.com. Okay. Well, you could go to YouTube after this video is done streaming and just type in Straight Out of Gotham, Gotham, and watch that video. It's fun.
I ended up getting a few things planted this week, me and my son, so that was nice.
Oh, you have a garden? How big is it?
It's not very big. It's just in containers because our ground is so awful. It's just sand is all it is. So we don't really have any topsoil because the wind here in western Oklahoma is brutal. And the sun is also brutal, so it's not like we have.
Yes, it is. Chaos and bedlam are consuming the world. UV light rays. We have less than an inch of topsoil left. Socially transmitted diseases, deforestation. This is what I fucked up last week. Irreversibly progressive depletion of the global gene pool. It all adds up to oblivion. Governments will fall. Chaos will reign. It's a brave new world. But Tommy Lee Jones got it better than me. Anyway, Squib, you got anything else, or should we close it out?
No, not really. I've been slacking at the prep, so that's why I'm not saying anything.
Well, you spent your money on a new gun at the gun show, right? So that's when it comes to me, if I buy something big, then I have to stop buying all the other stuff for a while, okay, got my mask and filters, and that's it for a while, So what gun did you get? You bought a handgun. You bought a Tokarev, right?
Yeah, and I took it out to the range twice, and I'm having some issues with it, so I'm gonna have to do some work on it. Well, sometimes that happens.
It's milsurp. What's wrong with it? What's it messing up on?
I'm having failure to feed. I thought it was just with the reloads, but sometimes it was doing that with factory new ammo, and I tried a couple different variations on the reloads and on my other Tokarevs that they work.
So I know you're not limp wristing it. How about the spring? Is the spring too strong?
The spring is
or not strong enough, or too strong, or
So the guide rod on it is weird. It's articulated. There's a joint in the middle of it. You can actually flex the guide
That is
rod
weird.
and the recoil. Yeah, that is weird. But I don't think that's it. There's a failure to go into battery, I think, because the bullet is striking the feed ramp instead of arcing up into it and
See,
properly
a feed
chambering.
ramp.
So
Is it a magazine problem or a feed ramp problem? It probably sounds like a magazine problem. Do you have more than one
No, 'cause
magazine?
I tried 3 different magazines that I got at different times from different places. I had mags for this before I bought it, so that's what I thought. That was my initial thought. First I thought it was a reload, so then I tried the reloads in 2 other Tokarevs and had better results. And then I changed out magazines, and that didn't change it. And then I watched a video, and somebody was talking about a similar issue, and I said, oh yeah, that might explain it. But so that's where I'm at right now. But I'll be working on it. It's no big deal.
Do you? Spring is it too weak, too strong? Spring is okay. It just the rod is weird.
Spring is okay. The gun is new. They still make these, I guess. I was kind of hoping to get one of the older ones, but yeah, it looks like it's a newer version of the same Milsurp gun that they were making back in the 50s. So who knows? These things happen. I mean, I got my AK brand new, and I was having similar issues with that. The thing is, it was a lot easier to send it back to Century and have their gunsmith fix it than it is for me to send this thing back to.
The only issue I had with the AK is
Serbia.
the handguards wood stocks suck shit, and I bought ironwood handguards and wood stock, and I did the finish work. But when I finished it finally, it's. I mean, I never had any functional problems with my AK, Romanian Monster AK ever. It always hits what I aim at, and you know.
Yeah,
It's
mine was jamming right out of the box, and I sent it back to Century Arms, and they didn't give me any
Wow.
problems at all. They paid for all the shipping, and I had it back in a few weeks, and I started running everything I could through it, and it didn't have any issues after that. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you just get a bad one out of the lot. That's why I'm curious to find out what happens with Dano's. If his works fine, then I just got a fluke. That's all.
So let me just ask you: Do you have a house where you can have a garden, Squib?
I do have a garden. My backyard's split into 2, and on the other side of the fence is where I keep the garden. The garden's in 3 sections, and
I wish I could have a garden.
3 plants going right now, but I'll add more.
Yeah, that's something you could work on for like almost no money, though.
Well,
compost and seeds.
I do compost. I compost all year round. The seeds, if you store them properly, you can get a package of seeds and use them for years. But sometimes I'll buy some of the plants at Walmart or Lowe's or one of the local nurseries or something, and put some of those in, because they get them started down south and ship them up here. So.
Do you have any fruit trees
in the house?
Do you have any fruit trees? My folks have got like a dwarf orange tree in back of their house, and if I ever do buy that piece of land, I swear to God, I want to have like a billion dwarf fruit trees.
I have
You're in
some
California waiting.
I have some ordered that should be coming. So, some peaches and some pear and apple.
Okay, well, if they knew Kauai, I'm moving into your house.
Okay.
I'll bring more patches with me.
All right. Come on.
It is nice being able. It's nice being able to walk back there and pull fresh green beans right off the lattice and bring them in and cook them up with dinner and stuff. But I don't do my garden as efficiently as some people. The biggest thing for me is the water bill. Even though I'm surrounded by the Great Lakes, and you dig down 30 inches and you hit water around here, the water's outrageous. So for me to keep the garden watered, if it doesn't rain for a week, I gotta water it. The water bill goes through the roof.
Well, I saw a video the other day, and I cannot think of whose channel it was, but he has a lot of followers, and he did like just growing lettuce in a solo cup, and then once it gets going, after about 3 weeks, you can do the first harvest, and you just cut it down, make sure and leave the center, and it'll regrow. And what he did was once the roots he poked holes in the bottom of the solo cup, and once the roots came through the bottom just barely, then he put some hydroponic food in just about a quarter of an inch in the bottom of that cup, and sat in a separate cup, and then sat the original solo cup with the lettuce in it in the other one, so nested it in there to where the roots could touch that hydroponic food. And heck, he got like 6 or 7 cuttings off of that one lettuce. And he just grew them in the house. Yeah.
Do you have?
It was,
I don't know anything about hydroponic growing, but.
Well, I mean, this was just in solo cups, and it was just hydroponic food. He didn't use the fish or nothing like that. It's just he used solo cups. It was pretty amazing, and I'm going to do that for sure. You can also do an in a garden inside Hawaii.
My house is already full of too much crap. I mean, you know.
Well, have you seen the ones where you can do a system where it looks like trays going up a wall, and then you have your grow light on top, where it's just on a wall?
My electric bill is already too high, and I get all the free water I need, but the roof is 180 degrees, and it's just, nothing works. I can barely live here, you know, if I didn't have the air conditioning on 24/7, you know. I'm basically, if the power goes out, I'm going to have to throw somebody out of a downstairs unit and move into, I mean, literally, I won't survive up here without AC. So it's like,
I bet not.
What?
I bet not.
So, yeah, but I was going to say, Squib, I mean, do you have any way to collect rainwater, you know, and just use it as gray water for watering your plants?
I do, but what I've got is a very rudimentary system. I've thought about improving it, but, you know, other projects get in the way. It's really not that big of a deal to do, but I've done that to save on the water bill, and it works. Sometimes it just seems like when it rains a lot, and then we go, you know, a week or two without rain.
Yeah, you got to capture it.
To do more storage then, but that would help some.
But if you're close enough to the Great,
that would help too.
If you're close to the Great Lakes, you can just take 2 buckets, run over the lake, and come back.
There's a lake across the street from me. I'd have to cross the highway to get to it. But if I had, you know, I mean, if there was some sort of situation where we were bugging in and there was no power and no water and all that, yeah, I would go over there for water. But otherwise, no, it isn't. You know, yeah, but it's just ironic that where I live, water should be dirt cheap, and it isn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, Detroit's mayors for that.
Yeah, I heard about some stuff about Detroit and the water system and problems with the whole thing. But they had a lot of problems. The city almost went bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean, every place you live has got some sort of problem. It's just ours is ironic. That's all.
We just lost our fallout shelters, and we don't know where they are anymore. So, anyway, hey, thanks everybody that's still out there. If you made it to the end of the chat, you know, leave a comment, and maybe I'll send you some of my extra Gun Channels patches. So
I'll send them their prizes right now telepathically.
Telepathic patches. We're the first Gun channel station to have telepathic patches.
There you go.
Right.
And it's good.
Jeez. All right. So it's been a crazy chat, like getting mail on a Sunday. All right. I think I think we covered everything. Anything else on? Just a quick look on Gun Channels on YouTube. If there's no more questions, we're gonna terminate. Cannon Goose Chase, the great gun channel's Cannon Goose Chase. Yeah, well, it was a real cannon. Yeah, I mean, you should just watch the Military History Channel more.
But it was a true goose chase.
What do you mean? It was a real cannon. It wasn't a goose.
You weren't. Okay, it's kind of like the tactical pop quiz where it's not whether or not you have the right answer, it's whether or not you have Dano's answer. We had to have your answer for this.
Well, it was
translated.
The tiger's mouth. I mean, do you want the Indian version?
I think you should have accepted both. Look, I could just sit here and whine and complain about it like G-Web says about the top 10 list. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been another Lock and Load straight out of gun channels, and thanks to Oily Prepper, who has a chat on Thursdays that she's restarting up, and I'll try and make it. And Squib over on Gun Channels over in Michigan, and Dusty One is on assignment and or late and missing, and he's probably trying to hide his beer from his wife. His beer brewing system. All right, so I'll see you next week for another Monday Lock and Load. God bless all of you.